Hey, today we're going to be breaking down 17 different work-at-home jobs. Some of them you can earn really solid income working in your pajamas, while others will be doing some myth busting to help you avoid common traps people fall into with work-from-home opportunities. We're going to be covering jobs for all sorts of situations, whether you're looking to transition out of an office job to an at-home job, or perhaps you're a stay-at-home parent looking for flexible work to fit your needs. Hey everybody, my name is Eric Worrell and welcome to Remote Control, where this channel is all about regaining control over your time, finances, and health through remote work opportunities. Here's a dandy of a statistic that will make you think differently about remote work. In this graphic from the US Census Bureau, it shows the median earnings by means of transportation to work in 2018. As you'll see, people who worked at home in 2018 made about $2,000 more in earnings compared to those who drove to work or took public transport. That doesn't include the $2,600 in savings most workers spend each year from commuting to work. The average salary of remote workers has been on a steady incline. In 2010, those who worked from home made 11% less than those who drove to work, but in 2018, they made 5% more. So the tides are turning and higher salaries are shifting to remote workers. The exciting thing about remote work is that you can take advantage of something called geographic arbitrage, or geo-arbitrage. I'm going to explain this concept at the end of this video. Before we get into our list of work-at-home jobs, let's cover some basics. What I've come to realize is that you need to ask 3 questions to better understand what opportunities align with your desires. Number 1 is, what kind of schedule do I want? Is it completely flexible and just deadline driven, or are you okay with standard hours and being on the clock? Number 2 is, what level of learning am I willing to commit to, which will impact question number 3, which is, what kind of income am I looking for? If you can answer these 3 questions, you can start to see what job opportunities align with your wants, needs, and desires. I've created a free remote personality quiz that is 1 page and will take you less than 4 minutes to take, and will categorize you into one of 16 different remote personalities. Then you can simply click a link to a list of job opportunities that fit well based on your desires with remote work. You can find that at remotequiz.com or a link in the description of this video. All right, let's get to the jobs already. I'm going to start with the easiest work-at-home opportunities, which tend to be the least lucrative, and then ramp up to higher paying jobs you can work from home. Number 1 is online surveys. You do them on your own time and you'll be paid in cash or gift cards. As long as you have 5 to 15 minute window, you can answer surveys which help brands collect market research. Probably the least lucrative on this list, but it is incredibly easy to get started and requires no skills or previous knowledge. Swag bucks and inbox dollars are 2 of the more popular services. That being said, and despite what other people try and tell you, I wouldn't plan on making more than a few dollars per hour with this gig. The thing I don't like is that you're paid in credits, which can be redeemed for rewards or cash. Now, if you look at the rewards, you can cash 1,000 swag bucks for $10 Visa prepaid card, which is essentially cash. 1 swag buck is roughly worth 1 penny. Now, if you look at this screenshot and look at the top 9 featured surveys, they pay anywhere from 1 to 25 cents per minute. Here's the thing, you're not going to qualify for many of the surveys, and I didn't for the 25 cent per minute one. My advice, just pass on these if you ever see them, unless you really love taking surveys for pennies. Side note, if you do get the opportunity to do in-person surveys or focus groups, you can make $100 for an hour's work pretty easily. After this video, you can just Google something like local focus groups near me to find local companies that'll pay you well. Number 2 on our list is a review of Mechanical Turk, which is an Amazon company sometimes referred to as MTurk. This is a marketplace where businesses can create tasks and then people like yourself can get paid for completing simple tasks. The tasks vary from tagging objects found in images to removing duplicate content for a business or translating content from one language into another. You can get set up by logging in with your Amazon account and then just filling out the brief form. But if online surveys are the pig of all remote jobs, this is the lipstick on that pig. A study by Cornell University found that workers on Mechanical Turk earned a median hourly wage of only $2 per hour, and only 4% earned more than $7.25 per hour. In my opinion, these services bank on you not being able to or unwilling to do simple math to track your returns. It sounds great because you get started as soon as possible and it requires no training or education, but unfortunately, that is why you'll make a couple hundred pennies per hour. Number 3 on our list is TaskRabbit. Some of the popular categories of work on this platform are handyman, cleaning, delivery, moving, furniture assembly, and personal assistant. Outside of being a personal assistant, most of the jobs will require you to leave the house, but you can do it on your own schedule. You even set your own hourly rate for the work you do. The limitation of this service is that you need people in your area using the service. I live in Buffalo, New York because I enjoy being pale, and when I try to find workers in my area, I kept getting the message, sorry, this task is outside of your coverage area. This tells me that the service probably isn't popular enough in my area to be a viable income stream. Number 4 is a transcription job. A transcriptionist simply takes audio and video content and turns it into text. If you can type efficiently and accurately, this could be a remote opportunity for you. The amount you make is going to depend on how efficient a typist you are. The average person types between 38 and 40 words per minute, whereas professional typists clock in between 65 and 75 words per minute. Not to brag, but personally I've tested out at 58 words per minute using a typing test I found on live chat. I suggest you try a typing test before considering this line of work. You can make anywhere from $5 to $25 per hour of audio transcribed, depending on your speed and experience. You may find you're an extremely fast typer, so you'd want to explore ways you can take advantage of this gift. One popular website to find work is called Scribby.com, and I'll include all these resources with the remote personality quiz I mentioned earlier. Number 5 is doing data entry jobs from home. This is kind of similar to the transcription work, but many times you'll be asked to transfer information, update records, or input some sort of data into a software. FlexJobs and microworkers.com are the two popular sites that offer this type of work, and Scribby, mentioned earlier, also posts data entry jobs. Number 6 on our list is being a freelance proofreader. This is a simple job to do from home and will require a good understanding of grammar and ability to spot typos. This would be a horrible job for me, but perhaps a good job for you. You can proofread a nonfiction book of 15,000 to 35,000 words and expect to make anywhere between $100 and $500 for that single project. Now let's assume you get paid $500 to proofread 35,000 words. If you can read and make corrections at 100 words per minute, it will take you less than 6 hours to make $500. Of course, this will be dependent on the number of typos and issues in the work and your ability to work efficiently. I found Upwork and FlexJobs seem to be good places to find work as a proofreader. Number 7 is being a freelance writer. This is an interesting remote job in that your potential income could be $10 an hour or a couple $100 an hour. It really depends on your activity, the assignments, and experience. For example, a technical writer who is writing content on data security is going to be paid more than someone writing on the local restaurant scene. This can be a rewarding gig, as I have a friend who has 0 writing credentials but landed a gig writing about indie music scene for the Buffalo News. He gets $500 a month to write about his passion and hobby, which I think is awesome. And the funny thing is, he moved to Seattle 5 months ago. So you don't need a journalism degree, and the free tools like Grammarly can make up for spelling and grammar issues. Number 8 is being an app or website tester. Companies want their latest website or app experience to be as seamless as possible for users, so they'll pay to have testers go through and share their experience. I've read that you can make between $20 and $45 an hour being a tester at services such as IntelliZoom Panel, Enroll, Userfeel, Analysia, and Try My UI. So I decided to put these companies to the test, and I was unimpressed with all of them due to the issues getting signed up or no jobs available. But I did like Userfeel, and I'll update you in the comments on what my experience has been like. This is the first opportunity on our list that I'm excited about because you can make between $20 and $45 an hour working from your home, just commenting on your user experience. I'm finding out the gates though, it's piecemeal work, so it's not something that you'll start off with a ton of work right away. Number 9 is to become a dog or pet sitter. Obviously, you should like animals if you want to explore this option, and it will most likely require you to leave the house, but I look at this as an opportunity for paid exercise. One of the services I checked out is an app called Rover that connects pet sitters with people who have pets. If you're looking to take their pet on a walk, in my area, those prices range from $13 to $30 per walk. The pet sitter keeps 80% of this while the app takes the other 20%. If you're going this route, you should try and find people close to your home so you get paid to go for a walk and get some exercise during your day. I do have a referral link for this service if you want to check that out in the description of this video. Number 10. This is closely related to number 9, and that's childcare. If you're a stay-at-home parent, you can potentially have another child stay with you and get paid to watch an extra kid. My son started off with an in-home daycare where a woman was doing just this, and I loved it because it was just him and one other little girl. If she hadn't moved, we'd still be doing this instead of paying $65 a day for a daycare where the runny noses and scratchy throats are a free bonus. The crazy thing is that in my area, daycare for one kid, not including summers, is $12,000. Now, if you have 2 kids, it's $22,000. So in this example, if you're working a job that pays $30,000, your take-home pay is going to be close to the $22,000 you need to afford childcare for 2 kids so you could work. And people wonder why it's hard to get out of poverty. So in this type of situation, if you watched one other kid and made $10,000 a year, you could look at it like having a $43,000 a year job due to the cost savings of not putting your kids in daycare. If you're looking to become a stay-at-home sitter, you can check out a service like care.com, but you could also have luck posting to local community sites or even tapping your own network. Just be aware of whatever the regulations are in your state so you know what you can and can't do. Number 11 on our list is one of my personal favorites for a nomadic lifestyle, and that is delivering for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, or other services. Again, I know this isn't an at-home job, but I personally have tested these services out and I like them a lot more than being an Uber or Lyft driver. The reason being is you don't have to have a stranger in your car, and there's an opportunity for a large tip on a short trip. Kind of rhymes, right? Well, now if you drive for Uber or Lyft, you make more money the longer the drive is, but you're also spending more money on gas and vehicle depreciation with each additional mile. But with DoorDash, a lot of your earnings will be dependent on the tip. So it's possible to do a 3-mile delivery for a $100 plus food order and get a large tip without adding a ton of miles to your vehicle. You have to figure out what works in your market and when the good times are to do deliveries. If you're interested, I have a video that highlights pay breakdown by these different delivery gigs, and I'll link to it in the description as well. Number 12 is a potential gig that may interest you if your time is relatively free, but you don't want to learn any new skills per se. You can be a virtual call center agent where you provide telemarketing, customer service, and customer support for people. Typically, your lowest pay with these types of jobs is handling inbound customer support calls, where you could expect closer to minimum wage starting out. Next would be inbound sales, because if you develop a sales acumen, you can be compensated higher for that through targeted bonuses. Lastly, if you're doing outbound telemarketing, bless your soul, and I hope you burn in hell if you call my cell phone. But if you're paid on commission, this would be the highest potential moneymaker, but typically has a high burnout rate. I attempted this job in college and I lasted 2 weeks and hated every fiber of my being. Number 13 on this list is being a social media coordinator. I can tell you from experience that social media is a nagging thorn to many business owners. That's because they feel like they should be doing something, but they don't have the time or energy to spend posting content on social platforms to help promote their business. You can easily make $20 to $30 an hour as a social media manager once you become proficient at your work. If this is something that interests you, I'd recommend checking out Hootsuite. They have some really great free certifications to get you started. This type of work can be done from just about anywhere and is rewarding if you have a creative itch. Number 14 is being a digital ad specialist, which is different than a social media coordinator. This means creating targeted ads that can be placed on Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, you name it. You might think this is something you can't do, but really it's not rocket science as much as people make it out to be. It's really just getting experience and learning by trial and error. A Facebook ad specialist can make anywhere from weekend spending money to a 6-figure income working from home. The way it typically breaks out is there are intention-driven platforms and then there are demographic and behavior-driven platforms. To better illustrate this, let's say you owned a jewelry store and you wanted to sell more engagement rings. You could go to Google and buy ads to display in front of people searching terms like engagement rings, or you could buy ads targeted towards male Facebook users from 30 to 33 years old who have been in a relationship for over 5 years and have a girlfriend leaving death threats in their lunchbox. The Google ad is based on their search intention, where the Facebook ad is based on their demographics and behaviors. Both Google and Facebook offer free trainings on how to use their ad platforms, and there are a plethora of advanced courses that can teach you how to become an ad specialist without ever leaving your house. Again, I'll link to those resources in the description below. Number 15 on our list is being a remote medical coder. I've reserved this towards the end of our list because I believe just about anybody can break into this field with some persistence. A medical coder is a job that can be done remotely full or part-time, in which the coder translates medical procedures into a standardized code so insurance companies can invoice for the services provided. According to ZipRecruiter, the average salary for a medical coder in my home state of New York is $49,398, which isn't too shabby. But I'm really impressed with the return on investment in this field, as you can spend about $500 to $600 for training, books, and your certification exam without requiring any other education. Analysts are projecting this field to grow further in the coming years due to rising needs to reduce frauds and misinterpretations associated with insurance claims. I did reach out to an expert in this field named Jennifer Delazana, who helps students prepare for their certifications. She recommended that if you're looking to be a medical coder, you can start off as a billing coder coder, which is the traditional training ground for coders and doesn't even require a certification. She said she's had some students go from no experience to working from home as an insurance company claims specialist. The pay won't be as high as a medical coder, but you could work your way up with more experience and training. Number 16 on my list is becoming a computer programmer. Being a computer programmer does not require a 4-year college degree in computer science, largely due to the fact that the demand far outweighs the supply of good programmers as of making this video. There are lots of online courses that can teach you how to program, along with coding boot camps where you can get a crash course in 12 weeks with a certification that many employers are going to recognize. There are forums such as GitHub where you can be active on them, and that'll help you land a remote position as well. Me personally, it doesn't get my creative juices going looking at code all day, but for some people it's spot on. But as far as return on investment goes, you can turn a $10,000 code camp into a $70,000 career in 12 weeks, and it's a career that lends extremely well to remote opportunities. So it's something to chew on. Last, but certainly not least, in my highly biased opinion, is starting an online business. It may sound confusing if you've never done it, but there are so many ways to make money online, and you don't need to know how to code, build websites, or run an e-commerce store. Heck, there's probably a pimply teenager within 10 miles of your house making great money on YouTube right now. For me, I'm currently transitioning from a full-time office job to a remote part-time job as a digital marketing director. During this transition, I'll be spending more time on my YouTube channel. I'm doing this because I've had several weeks that I've made more income from my YouTube channel than I did at my full-time job. The trick is to create content that is evergreen, meaning people will continue to watch it over time. If you look at the screen right now, you can see the growth of my channel in views and income over time. This income happens while I sleep, eat, and even work at my current job. But there are other ways to monetize your traffic with affiliate offers, product reviews, and educational courses. I found this is where the real money is when it comes to YouTube. Again, this is just scratching the surface of remote work opportunities. To learn more about remote work, I suggest subscribe to my channel, and to learn what remote work opportunities suit your personality, go to remotequiz.com, and there is a one-page worksheet you can work through that will deliver you a list of remote job opportunities that match your desires and needs in a work-at-home job. If you can recall, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned a term called geographic arbitrage or geo-arbitrage. It means taking advantage of the differences in price between various locations. You could earn money in San Francisco, where the pay is high due to the cost of living, but spend that money in a lower cost of living city like Buffalo, New York, where your dollar goes further. When you limit yourself to jobs and work opportunities within an hour of your house, you're limiting the salary ranges that you can work within and the number of job postings you can actually apply to. When you learn how to work remotely and geo-arbitrage your opportunities, you can get paid a higher salary than what you would expect in your local market in many cases. When it comes to breaking into remote work, all you need to do to get started are two things. One is the belief in yourself that you can make it happen, and two is start taking incremental actions towards your goal. The best thing is that because of the gig economy, you can sample different types of work without committing to full-time employment to help you figure out what work you find most rewarding. I do believe that remote work will continue to rise in popularity, creating more opportunities for those that learn how to take advantage of all it offers. Whether you're just looking for weekend spending money or a lucrative career, I suggest you take our free remote personality quiz over at remotequiz.com to help guide you in the right direction. If you have 4 minutes to spare, it'll be well worth it. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to catching you on future episodes. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below with your questions. Take care.